Hello, everyone. This is your host, Teresa Perkins of Exposure, Spotlight Magazine Talk Show. I am truly honored to have a conversation with one of the greatest pioneers in the television cable industry and a visionary in the new digital era. He is an entrepreneur, the president of the HBCUGo TV Network, which is one of the first national cable networks, digital services that is targeted specifically to the historically Black colleges and universities. Everyone help me to welcome this pioneer right here, Mr. Curtis Symonds. How are you doing?
Teresa, it's nice to see you tonight, and thank you very much for having me on. I'm doing very well.
Great. Look, we're so excited, of course, to have you to be a part of the Exposure Spotlight Magazine Talk Show, where we can have a conversation with you and learn a lot more about what you do. And of course, we want to get people on to this cable network to where they can actually view some of the upcoming projects and events that you all have that is about to take place. So before we go into that, can you just give us a little background about yourself and how you actually got it started into the in the entertainment, TV, media, cable industry?
Well, I'm a 40-year veteran plus of the media business. Started back in 1979, running the cable system for 3 years in Ohio. And then I left Ohio, went to Chicago, worked for ESPN for 8 years, and then made my big stand with BET, Executive Vice President of Marketing, for 14 years in DC. Then I left DC, I left BET rather in '01, and created my own company called Symonds Synergy Group, which is a marketing branding company. Did that for a few years. Then ran a nonprofit for a few years, and then ran the WNBA Washington Mystics professional women's basketball team for a couple of years. I was president of that organization. And then really got into the thinking about graduating from an HBCU, what could we do to drive more exposure for these schools? And about 2011, I began working on this project, and with another partner of mine, Clint Evans, as my co-founder, and we kind of put a business plan together and began to start hitting the street and see if we get a response on it. So we got a little bite. We began to start making some moves. We got launched, but as most people know in the world today, you got to build content. And so that was our biggest headache, trying to grow and figure out how do you grab content in the HBCU circle, plus find the funding to really care. So we were able to sustain it for about 10, 11 years. And then about a year ago, we were bought by Byron Allen, an Allen Media Group, because he saw the importance of HBCUs. And so I'm the president and co-founder of it, but he is the owner. And since we came on board in October of last year, being part of the Allen Media Group has really jet set the network. I mean, we are now doing a lot of good things around the HBCU circle. Recently, we just secured a 10-year deal with the SWAC, which is Southwestern Athletic Conference, one of the biggest Black conferences out there, which has Jackson State, which is Deion Sanders' team involved in that. They're part of that conference. So we're very excited. We kick off the season next Saturday, and we have all kinds of sports that we're planning to do. But we also are carrying lifestyle education programming and any other programming that's really tailored to the HBCU audience, because the goal really is to try to educate and really heighten the value of historical Black colleges. I think one of the problems out here in our African-American culture is the young kids today don't understand their history. And they believe very strongly that they can go to a PWI and get the same environment versus HBCU, and they can't. And until you actually give them the flavor and get them on a campus, someone's talking to them about it, they can't get it. So one of the things that we hope to do is kind of translate that in a way that people can see it better. And it would resonate better into why it makes sense to attend the HBCU. So that's somewhat of my history right there.
Well, look, that is some great history. You actually covered a lot, and some of the things that you mentioned are some of the questions that I actually have, because the information that I do have that that you are working with Byron Allen. So that was one of the questions I wanted to ask. How did you all actually connect with one another and decided to start, the HBCUGo Network?
Well, I mean, Byron and I knew each other from my BET life because he had ran into Bob Johnson and he did some stuff with BET back in the day. But, we kind of stayed in contact, and then really how we really kind of ended up getting together was really based around his lawsuit against Comcast, where he was suing them for like $20 billion.
Oh, wow.
And a friend of mine, a couple years ago, and said that Byron gave me this major endorsement at the Billboard Awards. And then right behind that, I got a call from who is now our president of distribution, Janice Aurora, who I know very well, who works with me and was working with Byron, saying she was going to send me this link of what Byron said. So she sent me the link, and I got it like 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. They're on West Coast time. And I was tired. I told her I'm going to bed. I'll look at it in the morning. But she told me where to look. And sure enough, one of the things he said was, lady asked him, like, why are you suing Comcast? And he said, well, the real reason is my friend CURTIS Symonds was trying to get a HBCU sports channel on there with his history in the industry. I don't know why they wouldn't do it. And they refused to give him a channel, and that really pissed me off. So I was like, okay, well, that's nice. I'm glad you kind of gave me that endorsement. Sent him a little note thanking him and all that. And about 4 months later, he was on the Breakfast Club in Atlanta, and they asked a question. And he gave the same answer. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Now, this is kind of getting out there in the street a little bit here. And so we had a conversation after that. And he said, Curtis, let me get through this lawsuit and then see what happens, and I'll get back to you. So he didn't get the $20 billion, but he got definitely a great distribution package with all the Allen Media properties with going into Comcast property. So we talked after that, and I said, listen, man, you need to help me. I said, you put my name out there as one of the reasons why you were suing them, and I need help. So he said, what do you need? I said, I need a big-time investor. So he said, look, I don't invest, I buy. I said, what do you tell me? You want to buy my network? He said, yeah, I think HBCUs make a lot of sense, and we should do something in the right direction. Just to put a proposal together, and let's see what can work out. Well, I put a proposal together. Long story short, it worked out. And that's how we made it happen.
Oh, wow. That is so awesome. What a testimony. That's really what it is. That is so awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I'm for me, Teresa, it's second go round. To work for Bob Johnson and be as close as I was with Bob and work for, an African American company, and now in my last hurrah, be able to work for another African American company that's really beginning to create some good things. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Very, very excited about the opportunities.
That is. So what year did you guys actually launch that again, the network?
Well, I would say the real launch has really been when Byron came on board, I would say October of last year.
Awesome. So now you did mention earlier as well that it's not just going to be different projects of sports, but you're going to have other projects.
Yes.
Lifestyle, different programs such as that.
Yeah, because really the goal of it, Teresa, is to really, help the young people from the different universities create content for the network.
Oh, okay.
Because one of the things that I want to try to create is that a lot of these students don't have opportunities to free themselves of a lot of the creativity that they have. HBCUGo Network will be that opportunity. Like, could be from a theaters, could be from an entertainment side, but it's stuff that the universities are providing to us that we can basically highlight the university. Oh, this came from Prairie View. Oh, this came from Jackson State. Oh, this came from Central State, that kind of thing.
Okay. So the producers do they have to be students, or can it be someone, I mean, they're African American, but perhaps they have had a difficult, I'm sorry?
It doesn't have to be students.
Okay.
It could be, it could be anyone who's producing content in the African American, in the HBCU circle, but we're trying to drive a message to get the young folks in the journalism department, the communication department, broadcast department, to get involved with the network, because I think it's an opportunity for them to really expose themselves to maybe a bigger level.
Right. I think that's fantastic, what you're doing. First of all, because our people need more opportunities to be able to present themselves with producing. And there's, a lot of creativity out there. You have a lot of talented, individuals and they just need a door to be able to go in. And you're actually opening that door. And I think that's fantastic. So since we're on that subject, if someone that's listening, which is, perhaps our listening audience, or just, someone who may be listening and hear this, and want to share it with someone, how would they submit their content to you all? Is there a certain...
They can go on our website. It's hbcugo.tv.
Okay.
And there's a button there that if they have a particular idea or anything, reach out to us, because today's world, you got to put an NDA out there so that, if you're reading something, you're trying to talk to somebody, you got to make sure you're covered on both ends, But that's one of the ways they can do that, to reach out to us that way.
All right. Well, that's still good, because I know, like, some of these other networks, they have, where you can submit content, but, it is a lot of little red tape, I guess you can say.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Which
it's a lot of red tape.
Yeah, right. But, and sometimes those red tapes, it makes it really difficult for individuals like myself or, others that has potential of, presenting some great projects. And so I really commend you in what you're offering to students, just producers, independent artists, and producers, period. I think that's fantastic. Now, one thing I want to ask too, so like as far as the sports, let's get back on the sports. So, and I guess with that being said, I know you guys are preparing for this major event that is going to take place, the kickoff, the sports
on
kickoff.
Saturday, yes.
So can you share and tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we're very excited about it. We have a 3-hour show on Saturday that will air from 12 noon to 3 p.m. On the network. And you can pick the network up by going to our website, hbcugo.tv. You can pick us up on Roku. We're on Amazon Fire Stick. We're on Apple TV. And then you can look at our apps, which is sports.tv and Local Now. And you can basically see the special, and the show will also be carried on broadcast networks across the country that are syndicating with us for our football season. They're carrying the show. A lot of CBS O&Os they're carrying across the country. So the door is wide open on that. But it's basically Charlie Neal, the legendary sports host, and Greg Coleman giving an overview of this year's upcoming season, along with talking about some of the other sports that will be carried on HBCUGo. And we have some great interviews from a few Black football HBCU Hall of Famers. We have we got a band, Battle of the Bands that came out of Houston that we featured last week. We're showing that. So there's going to be a lot of creativity on there for the show that we're very excited about.
Yeah, it sounds very interesting. I wish there was some kind of way I could have made it over there. I would be in. It's going to take place in Ohio. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, it was taped in Ohio. It's live to tape. So we taped the show Tuesday. It will air Saturday.
Oh, okay. All
and
right.
we taped the show at the NFL Hall of Fame in Canton on Tuesday, which was fantastic.
Oh, awesome. That is fantastic. So, is there any other upcoming projects that you have produced and presenting to the network?
Well, no, I mean, right now everybody's on student body right on this football season because it's a big thing for us. So we're very excited about kicking off the actual games next Saturday on the 10th. But this pregame show Saturday is going to be the spinoff that we're very excited about, and then we'll be building other things as it goes.
Okay, I have another question for you before we wrap it up. Now, how did you get Coach Deion Sanders involved? Besides, and I understand that he's the head coach of Jackson State, but still, how did you manage that? Well,
I mean, we had opportunity through another friend and that knew Byron and Deion, and we were able to grab a conversation with him. And then we had a great interview with him at the SWAC Media Day, where Charlie Deal did a one-on-one, which will be featured in this pregame show on Saturday. And Deion and Charlie kind of really lay out some really good conversations. I don't want to give it away, but I think you will enjoy it on Saturday. But he's an interesting young man. He's done a great job doing what he does, and he's helping young men.
Right.
So I think it's a great movement.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of sad for what they're going through right now.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible.
With the water crisis.
With that water.
Yeah.
Very bad. We just talked to the AD today. They can't even get on campus. It's so bad. I mean, they don't have water to flush.
Wow. That is something, huh?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good right now.
Yeah.
So they're surviving though.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, with through Christ, all things is possible.
You got it.
That's one thing I believe. So is there anything else that you would like to share with our listening audience before we end our conversation?
No, I think you did a good job. I appreciate you hanging around and staying around to interview me, but I think you did a great job, Tracy.
Well, thank you, and I look forward to doing it again.
Please, I will make sure and be available.
All right.
Let Jenny know and we'll set it up.
Okay, well, look, I'm going to hold you to that. Also, I want to leave you with this. This is our motto, is that I want you to know that I enjoyed tremendously this interview and having a conversation with you and learning more about HBCUGo Network. But I want to leave this with you as well, Curtis Simon, that your voice matters. And thank you so much.
Well, your voice matters, and thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. All right. You have a good evening.
When it drops, ooh, I can't take my eyes up off it. Moving so phenomenally. Boom on lock the way we rock it. So don't stop. And under the lights when everything goes. Nowhere to hide when I'm getting you go. When it moves, just imagine.
Are you a business owner and looking for an opportunity to network and collaborate with other like-minded professionals, executives, and community leaders? Well, look no further. Exposure Spotlight Magazine has launched its business network group, and you're invited to join us where your business can grow. Just look for us on Facebook at Exposure Spotlight Magazine Business Network Group. Are you looking for the key to your castle? Choose a mortgage company that works for you. Ambassador Mortgage. Voices of Virtue, a talk show you don't want to miss. trending news topics of today, empowerment, outreach advocate, life coaching, spiritual conversations, primary focus on marriage, relationships, and divorces. Hosted by the one and the only Cheryl D. Reshore. To be a guest, give them a call at 225-577-3436. You haven't tried the best until you have tried T. Monique Naturals. Natural and organic hair product-based company, leaving it soft, smooth, and moist. Shop now online at www.tmoniquenaturals.com. If you're looking for ways to strengthen your hair and give your natural the look that will turn heads, shop at tmoniquenaturals.com.
Hip hop kids